what do you got?
I think I can prove to a judge that both of these men had the mens rea.
What the hell is a mens rea?
It's a legal term the lawyers use. It just means the intention to commit a crime.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Mens rea?
Put the cuffs on him.
How could we have gotten mens rea? We take blood? Can you do it without taking blood? We both use condoms. How is this possible? I want to see a doctor. Can I have an independent blood test?
Hey, money!
I feel sick.
What are you doing?
Mens rea! Oh! Oh! My God! No!
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How are you? Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with, however good it feels, and why you're doing it in the first place, I don't care. I am just glad you're doing it here with me. Legal Vices on my little old channel here. I like to call Legal Vices because I'm clever like that. Well, it's Friday here where I am. It should be Friday morning where most of you are. Some of you, like in the outer reaches of Australia and places like that, it's already into Saturday. So, but you know, I'm just glad you're taking whatever time of day or morning it is and you're spending it here with me. We got a little bit to discuss today. Let's see. Kitchen Knife Rescue says, Legal Vices, have you seen the video of the guy in Vegas diving over the bench in a courtroom to attack the judge? Well, to that I only have to say, if you look at the description of the video that we're doing here right now, as put on Twitter, it says what we're going to be talking about today is the legal showdown that's finally come to a head that most of us know the results of in the Maya Kowalski case. We're going to be talking about that, plus the flying defendant and other matters. So yes, that's one thing we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about that video and something I haven't seen anybody cover yet. There was a press conference after. We're going to be covering the press conference about that particular incident. But also, I mean, to begin with, we're going to be doing the Maya Kowalski thing because that's what we're here for. That's the main point. That's the main story for the day. It's a little bit late, I know. The hearing was yesterday, but I was doing a different regularly scheduled stream, so I couldn't cover it yesterday. And so I'm a little late to this game, but I still hope to be able to provide at least a little bit of insight. So maybe I'll be able to put a little different interpretation, a little bit of a different spin. But let me tell you what we're doing tonight or tomorrow or the morning, wherever the hell you are. It's nighttime for me. It's 11 p.m. where I am right now. So let me tell you what we're doing during the show today. Maybe a little short. We may have a little bit of a shorter show. I hope so, because as something we'll talk about here in just a minute, it affects why I probably need to finish up a little bit early, but we'll see. The first thing we're going to be talking about, we're going to be going through the hearing where Judge Carroll asks juror number one the questions, and the lawyers try to add to it, and things don't work out very well for them. And the judge makes his ruling. We're going to be talking about that. Then we're going to read a couple of well, we only really need to read one affidavit, but from the prosecution, I mean, from the defense side. Why do we say prosecution? It's just habit talking all the criminal cases. Defendant lawyers have filed some affidavits. We're going to be reading those affidavits. One of them isn't sufficient, but there's 5 of them. They're short, and they basically all say exactly the same thing, but they're kind of amusing in a certain little way. So we'll do the hearing. We'll do the brief affidavits. Then we're going to talk about the flying defendant, and then the press conference after that. And what else we got lined up here? And then a special unboxing. That's what we're doing tonight. What's coming up over the weekend? We're having a special live stream on Saturday evening U.S. time, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. Saturday night. I have a very special guest that I have to pick up at the airport early in the morning, tomorrow morning, which is why I probably need to end the stream as soon as possible tonight, because Saturday night U.S. time, me and my dear friend of many, many years, Abby Abroad is her channel name. She's working on it. She's refocusing it So she's scheduled for a relaunch sometime soon, but she is a whiskey aficionado, a bourbon expert, and a writer for bourbon and whiskey magazines and online things such as that. And so we are doing the long-awaited whiskey stream on Saturday evening U.S. time. You've asked for it for months and months and months. I finally decided to do it and to take advantage of the presence of a dear friend who is intimately familiar with the industry and whiskey itself. We may even get into some other things, gin, vodka, things like that. But we're going to be doing the whiskey stream. Whiskey, what is it and how to drink it, with myself and another whiskey aficionado / expert. That'll be a great time. It's going to be fun. And if you want to play along and join us at home for tasting the particular whiskey we're going to be tasting initially and running through the how to taste it is Elijah Craig Small Batch. If you've got a bottle of it on hand, or if you have easy access to it and want to play along at home with us, feel free to do so. Elijah Craig Small Batch is what we're going to be doing. But we'll also be introducing what are other types of whiskey, what's the difference between rye and bourbon and scotch, things like that, and how to go through the tasting process to not just taste burny, icky alcohol, how to actually enjoy whiskey. We're going to be talking about that. So do not miss that. That'll be a lot of fun. And Monday, my dear friend Abby Abroad will be leaving on Tuesday morning. So Monday night, there's about a 90% chance I won't have a stream, but we'll just have to play it by ear, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know how that goes. All right, so there we go. That's what's coming up tonight. We've got this Saturday evening U.S. time. We've got the whiskey tasting stream, the whiskey, what is it and how to drink it. And then there might not be a show on Monday, but we'll see. Elijah Craig Small Batch. All right, with all that out of the way, let's quickly hit the like and subscribe poll. We've got 299 of you here and 100 and something likes. I can't see the number. I have to stretch out the screen a little bit here. 161 likes, 304 people here now, 161 likes. Thank you so much. Everybody hit the like and subscribe button. I know I haven't really given you much to like yet, but I promise there'll be at least something you should like in the next hour and a half, 2 hours. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, please just double check to make sure you still are. And once you've done that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and vote in our daily like and subscribe poll. The story for today is juror number 1 questioning the flying defendant, no war in South Korea, and unboxing what's in the box. That's our poll for today. And the reason the no war in South Korea is there is because, as many of you may have seen, heard, or been involved with, I wake up today, I'm minding my own business a little bit in the early afternoon, all these texts and messages and tweets start rolling in going, oh my God, are you okay? Are you safe? Because somewhere, somehow, somebody in the mainstream media got the idea that North Korea was attacking South Korea. North Korea was lobbing artillery shells onto South Korean territory. That never happened. It's not a thing. It's a ridiculous assertion by misinformed, maladjusted, ridiculous, clout-seeking, just biased, rejected, other R-worded mainstream media and online people. Never happened. Very quickly, here's a rundown of what happened earlier today. Right now, the U.S. and South Korea are involved in joint military operations and exercises, which are routine, regular, happen a couple times a year. They're planned out in advance. Everybody here in Korea is sent messages on their phone saying, ooh, there's going to be explosions and lots of jets flying around. Don't panic. It's part of the process. It's part of the exercises. There's all of that going out. There's news reports. There's media going on. And what always happens is when they have these joint exercises, North Korea says, pay attention to me. And they go, we're important. And they try to escalate things verbally. And what they've done today is something that is very, very common. When they get to a certain point of escalation, they just lob some artillery shells in the general direction of this little tiny island. There's this little tiny island way off the coast of South Korea. But it's about 8 miles, 10, 12 kilometers south of the North Korean border. They just kind of lob some artillery shells in the general direction of that island. That island has about 2,000 people and a South Korean Marine military base. So they launched about 200 artillery shells earlier today, and None of them landed in South Korean territory. None, zero, zilch, nada. They didn't try to do it, and they didn't happen. They came as close as they could to the border, and they have something called an NLL, which is the Northern Limit Line. It's kind of like the ocean-based DMZ. It's a tiny little buffer zone between the two countries where they're not allowed to pass through. A couple of the artillery shells landed in this buffer zone. No artillery shells landed in South Korea. So, in response, the South Korean military said, well, as part of these exercises, now we're going to take this Marine base that's on this little island, and we're going to conduct live fire drills with our own artillery on our own island. So, what happened was the South Korean Marines were lobbing artillery into the ocean, possibly making little explosions on the beach on their own territory. South Korea never went into North Korean territory. North Korea never came into South Korean territory. There is no military conflict. This happens every day. It's a regular occurrence. Nothing out of the ordinary is going on. If there was, I wouldn't be sitting here in my chair talking to you about it or arguing with people on Twitter about what's going on. That's it. That's all. There is no war in South Korea. There was no invasion. There was no artillery attack. None of this that you hear online has happened. So don't worry about it. All right, that's out of the way. Let's get into today's topic, which is the Take Care of Maya hospital attempt at maligning juror number 1 and imputing to him improper behavior and asking for the judge to grant a new trial based on alleged misconduct of juror number 1. The last thing we need to do before we jump into that is to look at the brief little incomings that have come in since we got here. Marv White says, I finally ate legit ramen after your many rants. Yeah, eat legit ramen. That's legit. Speaking of Korean things, eat legit ramen. Delish. Not the, the 10 cent a package things. Go for the sponsive ones. And Crazy by Proxy, thank you so much for your 6 months of membership. Happy Jeff. Oh, hey, Jeff and Chad. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Crazy by Proxy. Glad to have you here, and thanks for your support. And supporting for 8 months is Jeremiah Jordan with a Marty Feldman profile pic. Love that. So what's in the artillery shell then? Oh, there's boomy, explodey things in the artillery shells, but they're just landing in the ocean. That's all. And Tank Rat, who's been a member for 15 months, needs to say nothing. Tank Rat, who's been a member for 15 months of the Legal Vices Fallen Angels level. Thank you so much for your support throughout the 15 months, Tank Rat. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you so much. So, all right, that's let me scan the chat to see if there's any questions that we need here. No, Bradley Sugars, no, nothing is serious. Not at all. It wasn't even a major news item today. J. Lo says was stationed in South Korea. That's exactly what happened. That's just now. See, this all goes back, and what they did is people are like, oh, but they're evacuating the islands. They're not really evacuating the islands. They've given a evacuate your homes order, asking people to go to shelters nearby because there is live fire drills being conducted on the shore of this tiny island, and they want the people to be safe, and also as a precaution in case something goes to hell. The chances of something going to hell are almost zero, but the reason they're doing it is because in November of 2010, there actually was an incident where North Korea got a little bit ahead of themselves and actually shelled this island with some of the mortar rounds that hit the island and injured a couple of people and killed 2 South Korean Marines. That came close to causing a major incident, but that's not happening. And as a precaution against this ridiculous possibility, they're asking the people to go to shelters. That's it. The end. All right. Phoebe Purvis says, Legal Vices, you are delicious, but come on, juror number 1, please. We are there. That's what we're getting into right now. Hey, Ozzy Overlord crew has just joined us. Thank you so much, Ozzy Overlord. And whoa, dang it. Just before we can get to what we're going to do, sorry for the delay. It's been 15 minutes already. I got to put if I go over 10 minutes, I always have to put the notice at the beginning. If you want to see what we're talking about, skip ahead 15 minutes. But as I've always been told, it's 17 minutes of bullshit, and then we get on to, we get onto the topic. And that's about what it's going to be today, because Tank Rat has just gifted 50 Legal Vices memberships. Holy crap. That's like 1 in 8 of you, 1 in 9 of you. There's 455 people here now. 1 in 9 of you get a Legal Vices membership because of Tank Rat. So if you're one of those lucky 50 people, please make sure you give him a super special thanks. Tank Rat, thank you. Thank you so much. And for that, it's Friday. So many things are happening. First of all, you get a cheers to you, brother, for all your support, everything you've done for the channel for the months and months and months that you've been supporting. You've been a follower and a subscriber and a member. Thank you. Bless you, and I hope you have the most amazing 2024 ever. And that also triggers our oh, what's that? What happened? That's not good. Oh, there we go. Wow, that was weird. All right. That also triggers what we like to call
Release the homes.
$100 in Super Chatter memberships, or a combination of both. That unlocks the Doggo Cam achievement for the evening. So let me quickly introduce our co-hosts for Doggo Cam Day. Let's see. Extra camera. That's what we need. Extra camera. And all right. We'll have to zoom it out a little bit here in just a second, but yeah. These are my dogs, Yoda and Strawberry. They join us when we reach that $100 Super Chat achievement. And let me just kind of peace out there for a bit. Adjust the camera so that we can see them together. There we go. Apologies. Let me just move the slider a bit. There we go. All right. Just chilling there in front of the space heater. All right, there we go. Thank you. I cannot say thank you enough, Tank Rat, for that. And also to you. Where did we go? There we are. To you, Jane Zanis. Thank you so much for your support. Gifting 5 Legal Vices membership. If you are one of those people that got Jane Zanis, sorry. If you're one of those people that got Jane Zanis's 5 Legal Vices gifted memberships, make sure you give Jane a super special thanks as well. LA asks, do you call them Yoda and Strawberry in English or Korean? Well, Yoda is just Yoda. Strawberry is Dargi in Korean, and I call her Dargi. Why don't I call you Dargi? Yes, Dargi. Come here, Dargi. No, just sit there. Never mind. Just stay there. Yes, I call her. I speak to her Dargi in Korean. I don't call her Strawberry. If I called her Strawberry, she wouldn't answer. I just call her Strawberry for your benefit, because if I said Dargi, you'd have no idea. All right, enough of my rambling, and thank you again so much, Jane and Tank Rat, for your gifted memberships. Your support is truly, truly appreciated. And we are off to the races. All right. The motions have been made. The arguments have been had. The judge has decided to interview or to question juror number 1 in the Maya Kowalski trial to determine whether there has been any misconduct that would warrant a new trial, that would warrant them holding a brand new trial, setting aside the $261 million verdict. The judge says, well, let's ask juror number 1 if there's been any misconduct. And that's what we're doing right here, right now. So we'll bring it up. I know most of you have seen it, but hopefully I'll have something different to add that you haven't heard. All right. So we're going to bring this up right now, and Strawberry and Yoda and I will take us through this. And let's see. Begin. All right, where'd you go, Straubs? All right, here we go, folks.
There's a couple attorneys that are by Zoom. Let me add them to the Zoom here.
They sort of get the audio worked out in a bit. Daily Quick Bite says, Kurt somehow scooped all of LawTube. He had Juror number 1 and Hippo Lover on last night. I mean, it would be great to have them on, but I actually don't want them on, because I just don't even want there to be any possibility of me saying anything that would cause any problems for them or the trial. But I am working on getting Greg Anderson on my stream.
And Mr. Hughes, are you able to hear us?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you for accommodating.
Okay, so they've got the several people calling in on Zoom, several of the lawyers coming in on Zoom.
I hope you feel better as well. Mr. Whitney, are you able to hear us?
Yes, Rob, thank you.
I apologize. I'm in a courtroom that's usually not mine, and there's so many lights that if I'm just glaring at you through this, it's just all these
The
lights
hair is reflecting off of Tuft Island
off
there.
of me, so I apologize about that. Anyway, let's
The sea
keep
of
going.
baldness
This
is
case number
reflecting the lights.
2018 CA 5321, starting with the plaintiffs here in the courtroom. Let's take appearances, please.
Gregory Anderson, Jennifer Anderson, Nick Whitney, Samantha, I don't know if Samantha Lawrence is there, Jack Kowalski appearing, Tom Elegant.
Amy Ferrier.
It looks like Miss Anderson is by Zoom now.
That is a large security officer who I don't think can do much.
Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, Chris Altenberg, Pat Pauls, and Ethan Shapiro.
And I understood Mr. Turfs was going to be here. Is he?
I spoke with him, Judge. He was just right
Is
out
he
there.
back with?
Oh wait, we've
so juror number one
lost
is
the
here?
we've lost the juror. Where is the
Why don't
juror?
we go get Mr. Turfs?
We've lost the juror. Someone find the
Just
juror,
leave
please.
Juror number one where he is for the moment.
Now, I've only watched a very, very brief part of this, but I know the gist of what happened. So I'm actually kind of watching this cold here. I've seen about
Your Honor,
4
do you want us
minutes
to
of
make
it.
room here for Mr. Turfs? and
I was going to
counsel
put him over in the
there?
jury box. Figured that was an appropriate place
That's
for
a good
him to
analogy
go.
there.
Judge, while we're waiting, I understand we sent a judgment in, to propose judgment in today. It apparently was sent in as agreed. It's not agreed. Mr. Altmer and I have talked about it. I think we're very close. We have one or two things to resolve. I mean, and of course, obviously the numbers could change.
And he's one of the appellate lawyers for the
That's
the
down the
plaintiffs.
road.
Damn it! I
Yes.
got to stop calling them prosecution.
Yeah, I just wanted to correct. Apparently it had gone, I haven't even seen it. Apparently it went in as
As it's
an agreed
Turfs,
objection
not
to.
Tufts.
That's not, it's mostly accurate, but it's not completely accurate.
And I see Mr. Turfs is here. So, and you are representing juror number one? Yes. And ultimately, Mr. Turfs, when you speak, because there's no microphone over there, I'll need you at some point to go over to the lectern if you need to speak.
Yes.
Now, we are here on the juror interview. Mr. Altenberg, you seem like you want
I've got two more appearances. I forgot counsel in Baltimore, and so Terry Williams and Derek Scheichwalder are here as well.
to, I don't see them.
They need to be admitted.
But they probably need to be admitted.
Gosh. Okay, what are their names again?
It
There's
should show as Terry Williams.
there's lawyers that are on Zoom that they're waiting to have admitted to the Zoom conference.
You think with all the glare off of this, all these lights, I can see it's Carrie Williams.
Yes.
I don't see that name. Could it be a different first name?
I doubt it.
Well, I mean, is it a she or he?
Squid pro quo. You better not be talking about me.
It would be whatever they put in.
Yeah, do you see a Derek? It could be in the same room.
And what's the other name again?
It's, the first name is Derek, D-E-R-E-K. And it's Skyport.
All right, let's get the lawyers in here. Come on.
T-I-E-7. All right.
Do you want to call them and see what their name on their Zoom is?
I mean, sorry, Daily Quick Bites. You better not be talking about me. You better not be talking about me too, Squid Pro Quo.
Because there's quite a few.
And that is
folks on
the court who have apparently not.
I will send an email
Okay.
right now, Judge.
All right. Yes, these are the appeals lawyers from Baltimore.
I don't mind promoting them.
Oh no, you can tell by the gunshot noises in the background.
Let's see. There's a Samantha Lawrence, so I'm assuming you want her to be promoted to a panelist?
Yes, Your Honor.
Daily Quick Bites, you said you're a bit bummed from the latest developments in a show you like, although you saw it coming. Good storytelling, but sad outcome. Said you better not be talking about me.
Yeah, I don't see names. So I just need to know whatever.
Oh, come on, Judge.
name they are on the Zoom for me to be able to promote them to be a panelist.
This is like boomers leading ancient boomers and trying to unboomer themselves. Like, I have room to talk, I know, but that's just what's happening here.
Any other, well, let me go ahead and go over the ground rules while we wait for that information. We are here on the
Jules.
juror interview. I will be asking the questions.
Big boy's
I wanna make it
deputy
clear
Nick.
that I'm not going to ask any questions associated with the jury deliberations, the thought process associated with juror number one's view of the evidence, or anything having to do that would adhere in the verdict. The only topics we will address are those four that I put in the original order, granting the limited juror interview. I'll ask the questions. At the conclusion of the questions that I ask, I'll have.
Oh yeah, I'm totally Gen
juror
X.
number one
Squarely in the
go back
middle
to
of
wherever
Gen X.
he is right this second, and then I'll let you, out of his presence, suggest any further questions that you think that I might need to ask based on this juror's answers at the time.
Hey, Steve Gosney.
You all understand what we're doing today?
All right, here we go.
Yes, sir.
Now, I do have, and not exactly sure how I'm going to get it for the folks on Zoom, but two exhibits. So give this to the clerk, Mr. Turfs, the defense and the plaintiffs, and then put one on the witness stand. Just pull off the little yellow sticky when you give it.
Okay, so far the judge seems to be in a good
What
mood.
they are
Seems to
for,
be amicable.
Mr. Hunter, Mr. Hughes, and Mr. Whitney, and
Little
Ms.
amiable
Anderson and
judge.
Ms. Lawrence, is the court exhibit number one, is juror number one's questionnaire that he filled out. I redacted his address, and court exhibit number two.
Okay,
is
while they're doing
docket
that, LA has been a member for 1
from
month.
that
Says, look at defeated
2002
Shapiro. I watched via Zoom. The Shappy Hunty looked very
For our
constipated
case,
throughout.
that
They always
was
look constipated throughout.
referenced in
Shap spends a lot of time on his phone scanning Reddit.
the defendant's motion for juror interview. And for the witness stand, you can pull off the.
All right, I will keep an eye on Shapiro to see if that is true.
Your Honor, this is David Hughes. I'm sorry to interrupt. I did hear back. Derek Stikelether, or his email, bstike, he says it would be, and for Miss Williams, it should be Carrie Williams or
Oh my God.
C. Williams at her email address.
Are they able to see me in the audience right this second?
Confused looking judge. He's like, come on, let's get it worked
I'm
out.
told that Mr. Stikelether is in Judge Carroll's personal meeting room.
Okay, because if I suspect what he is on, because I have a normal Zoom and I'm using the webinar feature that we use throughout the entire trial, which is different.
Yeah, I
than what
I
use
watched
for
his
all my
interview. It
other
was a good
cases.
interview. Good conversation.
So I
Good
suspect
conversation.
That's the issue,
Okay.
because he would be able to see me right this second.
Okay. I'll see if they can just watch on TV. I assume the proceedings are being televised.
My understanding is Law and Crime is live streaming this, and
Oddly,
any number
Law and
of
Crime
other
did not live stream it. We're watching
social
Law and
media
Crime now,
outlets
but
are
they just
also
added it
broadcasting it
a
live.
very short time ago.
I don't make any representation as to what they are doing or what they're not doing.
I don't
I'd
know
like
why
to
they didn't live
proceed
stream
if
it, but they
that's
didn't.
Okay with the defense. You're shaking your head, yes. So,
Yes, that's fine.
okay. Any questions about what we're going to do, or are we ready to bring in juror number 1?
Let's rock.
None on behalf of plaintiff.
On behalf of defense.
Lieutenant, if you can go grab juror number 1, please.
I was surprised that he was on cam, but again, I understand that he insisted that he be shown on camera because he was defending his position and had nothing to hide, had done nothing wrong, and was not ashamed, and wanted his image to get out there. I mean, clearly that had to be the case, or otherwise they wouldn't have done it. But I understand he affirmatively said that. And dude is like dressed. He's got the frosted tips, and he's the opposite of Shapiro. He's the opposite of Judge Carroll. He's got a head island in a sea of hair. Got a little bald island there in the sea of hair.
Hey, welcome, sir.
Greetings.
And I know we're in a different.
Now, look, I love this. I love the guy's fashion. I love his 0 F's given attitude. But like, I am a completely fashion void person. I know nothing about fashion. I know I committed a faux pas today by wearing this black shirt and a pair of blue trousers to the office today. I know you're never supposed to put blue and black because my mother always used to tell me I look like a bruise. But I'm fashion void. But even I know that nothing this guy has on, from the pocket square to the coat to the tie to the shirt to the ring, nothing goes with anything else. But somehow he makes this look acceptable. I like this guy.
Different courtroom and a different.
And I know people are calling him the
last
tiger
time I saw
juror
you.
and things like that.
Appreciate you
So
coming today. I would assume you understand why we're here today.
Yes, I do.
So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. Right in front of you, I've got a couple of sheets of paper. The first one that I put on where it says court exhibit number 1. I just want to confirm that is in fact
the shirt is a bit busy
questionnaire that you filled out.
But like, what the hell do I know?
I think you were on day 1, so there have been September 14th of 2023.
Yes, Your Honor, it appears so, yes.
And then the second sheet of paper
Right.
behind it is a docket sheet. And I'll tell you, I just printed it out a few days ago off of the Broward County Circuit's website. So it's whatever was publicly available, involving a 2002, so more than 20 years ago, a 2002 filing by what appears to be your then.
Oh, is it? It's hippos on his shirt?
Aileen.
Yes, correct.
Now,
Are those hippos on his shirt? No.
I've sat in the family law division, so I know how to read this docket sheet.
Okay, so what I'm feeling here is the judge is being extraordinarily courteous to juror number 1. Yes, this is juror number 1, Eric. Yeah, the judge is being extraordinarily courteous to juror number 1, which he probably should be, because this is an extraordinary situation that he's in. And I think he's also going to, I mean, we know he denies the motion ultimately, but he's going to kind of crush them, I think, crush the defense. I think he's telegraphing to juror number 1. He's apologetic. He's here. He wishes it didn't have to be. Don't worry. It's not going to take very long. So he's being very, very kind and explaining things very, very easily, simply, so that there's no question about where the judge stands in all of this. And Adara the Wholesome, thank you so much for your super chat and the support. So deeply appreciated. Looks like a 1200 AD Friar Monk went to Vegas and won. I was kind of thinking that too. I actually was thinking that earlier today when I watched a couple of minutes of this. So, all right, let's get going.
Looks like is your then wife filed, because it looks like you probably had minor children between the two of you. A UCCJEA affidavit was filed, and there were some allegations. You were served with the petition, and then she never showed up for the hearing.
Oh,
That's what I read off of this.
That is correct.
Now, here's where I'm going to go with my questions. There seems to have been some sort of reference to child allegations involving this petition.
So he doesn't even want to say
Was
what those
there any
things
sort
were.
of involvement by DCF more than 20 years ago in this case? When I say this case, the 2002 case.
No, there was not.
And at the time in 2002, did you have, how many minor children did you have?
2002,
2002.
that would have been 3.
Were any of your children sheltered by DCF or whatever the entity was called at the time?
None, no.
There was on the questionnaire whether you had any strong opinions about DCF. So do you have, and as you, let me go back. On September 14th, 2023, did you have any opinions, strongly held opinions about DCF?
No, I did not.
How about the government's ability to remove children from the care of their parents?
No opinion at all.
Okay.
I'm going to switch gears on you, sir, and go to another topic.
Okay, so yeah, he is if you'll recall from his order and decision that juror number 1 would be questioned, he laid out these 4 areas that were essentially 1 sentence each, and he is following that very closely with only like 1 or 2 additional questions beyond exactly what was stated in his order. And this is what I called this in our previous stream we did on the Take Care of My Thing. I told Megan Fox, who was on, I said, look, what I think he's going to do, he's going to come in and he's going to say basically these exact same things that are on his sheet. And he's going to say, thank you, goodbye, motion denied. And that's pretty much exactly what happened. See, the law racks knows things occasionally. I'm not as dumb as I look. I mean, I couldn't possibly be that dumb, but I'm smarter than I look. Let's just say that.
Topic. There was an allegation in the defendant's motion that somehow your current wife either was represented by an attorney by the name of Deborah Salisbury or was involved in a case that included Deborah Salisbury. My question to you is this. Back on September 14th, 2023, did you know who Deborah Salisbury was?
No, I did not.
Okay.
When did you first
Expected?
learn, if at all, when or who Deborah Salisbury is?
When something was filed by the defense attorneys.
Has attorney Deborah Salisbury ever represented you?
Never. And
to the best of your knowledge, has attorney Deborah Salisbury ever represented your current wife?
No, she has not.
She was very good. She was very nice and very, very, very courteous. Oh, when did you get married? Uh-oh.
On the spot.
Uh-oh. I had it on a tattoo of a hippo.
Of a hippo. Oh my God, he does have hippos on his shirts. Look at that. This family has a thing for hippos. That's weird. That's extraordinarily weird. But okay, everybody's got their thing. So his wife is hippo lover. He's got their wedding date tattooed on his arm. That's a good way to never forget it, because you can always go, oh, let me see, and pull it up. Clever thinking guy to have the wedding date tattooed on your arm.
On my arm, but it's covered.
Okay, he's thinking too long.
2016.
Okay. Have you ever been in any sort of proceeding where Deborah Salisbury was around, to your knowledge?
Never.
I'm going to change gears on you and go to another topic, sir. The court gave repeated instructions.
Okay, sorry.
During the trial.
Mm-hmm.
Not that.
Oh, all right. So let's talk about Salisbury for a minute. Aside from it being one of the better TV dinners you can get, the Salisbury steak TV dinners are amongst the better ones you can get. But I mean, essentially, I think this part of the questioning was unnecessary because the affidavit that Salisbury submitted the other day, where she absolutely crushed Shapiro and the defense team by saying that under her responsibility as an officer of the court, she was duty bound. She was obligated to come forward and point out his intentional lies, that she had anything to do and any knowledge of these people, juror number one or his wife. She came out and said that she had the duty to come forward and demanded that the court understand that she fulfilled her duty to come forward and rat out the prosecution for their intentional misrepresentations, which we can just, as laymen call lies. Lawyers call them intentional, misinformations or intentional, mistake, things like that. Look, and see, that's the thing we talked about. You, as officers of the court, lawyers are absolutely prohibited from lying to judges. That's a quick way to sanctions, or worse. I mean, that can get into disciplinary problems that could affect your licensure. But also, if you, as a fellow lawyer, as a colleague lawyer, as someone else who is a sworn lawyer at the bar of this particular state, know that another lawyer is misrepresenting something to the judge intentionally, you have an absolute affirmative duty to rat that lawyer out. Otherwise, you can be found to have committed an ethical violation. In many, if not most states, you have a duty to rat out such behavior. And that's why I believe at the end of her affidavit, she asked the judge that I want you, in any order you give in this respect, to make it known that I fulfilled my obligation to come forward and point out these intentional misrepresentations. And that was so strong. And she, as a sworn officer of the court, came forward and did that I don't think that whole line of questioning about her and whether or not they knew them was necessary at all. The main point from her affidavit being that it is so easy to check. As she said, they could have picked up the phone and asked her if she had anything to do with these people or knew them. They didn't do that. They could very easily, as members of the bar, gone into the lawyer database and got her phone number and called her. They could also just as easily have taken the case number and checked the docket online to see if she was the attorney of record for them or anyone else. They didn't even do that basic fact check. They didn't even do that. I mean, on those grounds, I mean, I think she just absolutely crushed the defense. And I don't think they needed to do that, but the judge did. He went through the motions. He asked the questions, didn't ask anything more than he had to, and then he moved on.
Have any conversation about the case, don't learn any information. In fact, I think on the very first day, I told the assembled group that you couldn't even talk to your spouse or partner about the case. And if they asked, that you were to say that Judge Carroll's a meanie and doesn't allow them to talk about this case. Were you able to follow that instruction throughout the entirety of the case until the time that you were discharged as a juror?
Yes, I was.
At any time until the time that you were discharged, right the day before Veterans Day or whatever day that was when we discharged you, at any time before that date, did you speak with anyone that would include your wife concerning anything having to do with this case?
No, I did not.
Now, the motion indicates that a person who appears to be your wife, and I'm assuming it is your wife, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Was following the trial on various social media platforms and on one day came to court. Okay. Are you able to tell me for sure that your wife or no one else, no one gave you any information about this case at all?
Yes, correct, Your Honor. No one, and I did not seek out any information on this case.
Short, direct, to the point answers.
Now, slightly different.
Clearly trained police
Or
officer,
did
trained
you
in testifying.
obtain any information about this case from any source outside of the courtroom at
No.
any time before you were discharged as a juror?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Let me ask you directly. There was an allegation that you may have gone online and looked at Dr. Kirkpatrick's website. Did you do that?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Did you ever observe Dr. Kirkpatrick's website, even if you did not type out the information to drive the computer to his website?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Now,
There
sir,
you go.
what I'm going to ask you to do is to go back and sit where you.
Okay, and to just talk about that and basically that what we just heard, that little section, as well as everything else we're talking about here. The only argument that the defense had was if you put him on and you ask him these questions, he's just going to lie and say the same thing he said the first time, presupposing that he was actually lying the first time. He may have been telling the truth, and we have to presume he is telling the truth. Why do we have to presume he's telling the truth? Because the defense had not a single scintilla, not a whiff, not even the merest whisperings of the possibility of having any actual evidence to back up their assertions. None whatsoever. So he can sit up here and say whatever he wants. And I have zero reason to believe he's doing nothing other than telling the absolute truth. But it has to be accepted regardless of what he says, because the defense has no evidence whatsoever that what he's saying is not the absolute gospel truth. So, yeah, and I doubt you're going to see any meaningful questioning when it's time to submit their own additional questions, because what do they got? They have zero evidence to back up anything they ask him or nothing. There's nothing there.
I'm going to talk with the lawyers outside of your presence, and we might have some more questions for you in a few minutes. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Jeez, that was quick, wasn't it? Holy cow. Again, I was even more correct than I thought. He literally just went down every one of those issues. Boom, 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 done. Send him out. Now I guess they're going to talk. The lawyers are going to say, well, please ask him about this, ask him about that. And then they're going to argue about whether or not to ask them. And then the judge will maybe ask a couple additional questions. I don't know. I haven't watched from a while ago until the end of this. So this is all new ground here. It's just Straub's is twerking. Now, she wasn't twerking. She's dumb, because she'll sit facing away from me, and then she'll like want to look at me. So instead of just being smart and turning her body around and getting the pet, she like tries to do this, tries to like twist her neck around, but so she's getting her pets here, so it doesn't matter. All right, let's see what happens next. And go.
Okay, juror number 1 is out of our presence. I have, as I told you in the order allowing the limited juror interview, and as I said this a few moments ago, after I asked my questions, I was going to open it up to see if there were other questions. So I'll just go to the defense. Are there topics that within those 4 issues that I'm allowing that I need to dig farther on?
I only have the area of inquiry as to the October 30th when his wife.
What?
I'm having trouble hearing you. Can you go to that?
Yeah.
I apologize.
So I'm only have a handful of questions, I think, about October 30th when his wife was in the courtroom. It seems to me that if I was on a jury and my wife showed up in the courtroom, I'd be surprised. And so, I mean, did he have any conversations about her planning to attend before she did attend? And then I guess the next question has to be, did he actually see her in the courtroom sitting on the what I'll call the plaintiff's side of the courtroom? Did that cause them to have any verbal or nonverbal communication with one another in the courtroom? Did they have lunch with one another that day? Did they have any
What the fuck does that? I mean, what the
discussion
intercourse
all
does that
about
have to do with anything?
her attendance at the court at the end of the day?
Irrelevant. Nothing.
And the only final question I would have would be whether or not he discussed anything about the testimony of Detective Graham, either before that testimony or afterwards.
The Detective Graham issue, I mean, I've ruled on that.
Okay.
The
I thought that was still open, but if you ruled on it, that's fine.
Right. Well, I mean, I think what I said was the fact that his wife posted that he's going to have questions. I think I said that this is almost as certain as death and taxes that this witness or that this juror was going to have.
Yes, exactly.
Questions.
I realize that.
Yeah. So
I prefer the question, but if you don't want to give it, that's fine. So thank you.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Plaintiffs, what are your thoughts?
Your Honor, we object to all of these. We do not see the relevancy.
He looks like a bored / angry judge. And as Anderson's here saying, there's nothing relevant. Everything this guy asks, there's not a single relevant thing to the issues that are in question here.
To them, the witnesses already testified that he did not have any communications with his wife about the trial. The court's order, none of the instructions said, and you have to remain mute to your spouse. You can have no conversations whatsoever. You can't even look at her, presumably is one of the questions in the courtroom, or shake your head or smile. We believe that these questions are completely inappropriate and lead us nowhere towards what we understand the court's inquiry and what you're seeking here.
I'll go ahead and ask, I think one or two of them. I'm not going to ask all of them, but Mr. Turfs, was there anything that? Okay, let's bring them in real quick.
All right. So, yeah, basically, shut up, guys. That's not me. That's the court. Yeah, nothing they have to ask is relevant to the issue. And they know it. They're just throwing Hail Marys at this point. He's like back.
Okay, sir, you understand you're still under oath?
Yes.
Just a few more follow-ups. Apparently your wife showed up in court on October 30th.
Yes.
That was the day before you dyed your hair, if I remember correctly. Well, your hair went orange. Yes, for Halloween, I assume. Okay, but let me go back to the day before.
Wow. Okay.
Did you see your wife in court that day?
No, I did not.
Did you have any knowledge prior to October 30th that she was going to court?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
She told me that morning that she wants to go and sit in court. And I said, fine with me. And that was the end of the conversation.
Now, so you said you didn't see her in court.
Because of my eyesight, with my readers, because of my diabetic retinopathy, I only see figures in the gallery right now. I can't ID anybody.
Huh.
Well, here's where I'm going with my ultimate question. I hear that you say you didn't see your wife, but I want to make sure, was there any sort of nonverbal contact or nonverbal communication from your wife to you about this case?
No, there was not.
Okay. Thank you, sir. If you could go have a seat.
There you go. Anything else?
And Mr. Altenburn, based on how he answered those questions, I didn't ask some of those others because either benign contact, not about the case.
I'm not asking for additional questions.
Okay, thank you. So at this point, may I excuse juror number 1?
Yes, Your Honor, on behalf of plaintiff.
Yes. Okay. We can let.
Okay, the judge was very, very cordial, was very, very gentle, and very, very, impliedly apologetic to the witness, to the juror number 1 for having to put him through this. But you saw when the questions were being asked, when the defense was proposing their additional questions to be asked, the judge was looking straight at him like, "Are you going to sit down yet? Are you really, really saying that?" His demeanor was quite cold to them, and I don't blame him. He's
him
done.
go if he wants to
He's
leave
done
the
with this.
building. That's fine. I'm going to hear further arguments from the lawyers. Mr. Turfs, if you want to stay around, that's fine. Or if you want to leave with him, that's fine too. But juror number 1 is free to go if he wishes to leave at this point. If he wants to come and sit in the audience, he's free to do that, or come sit here. It's totally up to him.
Daily Quick Bites, he had to allow this. I was 90% sure that he would allow at least this very, very basic questioning of the jury to just close another one of the doors to Jay Hatch's appeals. Say, yes, I did it. Because if he doesn't do it, they can say, oh, he erred in not even questioning the juror when there was some at least theoretical misconduct. By doing this, he's shut that avenue of appeals off. They can't say he didn't do it. He couldn't consider it. So I think it was necessary and proper in this case to close off this avenue of appeal and to put this juror number 1 thing to rest forever.
Absolutely, may. Okay. But he is now excused from his subpoena and he's free to go whenever he wishes to go. Okay, closing arguments at this point on the defendant's motion for new trial, which is at DIN 3742. And since it was the defendant's motion, I'll let the defense make any arguments you wish to make at this point, if any.
So based on the testimony, it comes down to a credibility call for you to make.
Yeah.
On what he said here. And I've asked for questions. We'd like to have gone to the things on the other area, but I believe you've made a clear ruling on that, so there's no reason for you to argue further on that. I do believe that those things weren't bound by a 15-day and that we had good cause for why we did it somewhat later. But
well, the judge already said you're wrong, so. Okay. That was the ultimate Hail Mary of all Hail Marys passes. That was, that is their final argument. Well, we just, I'm going to make this lame argument, and then I'm going to sit down. That's the last thing they have to offer. He doesn't even believe this himself. This credit. Listen to his own tone of voice. His tone of voice is utterly defeated on this credibility issue. That is their last, and that's all they've said in the past 2 motions, and the motions in the supplement was, but even if he gets on the stand, he's just going to lie without offering a single piece of evidence that what he was saying was a lie, that he did anything wrong. It's all just feelings, hunches, assertions, allegations, not a single shred of evidence that anything juror number 1 did was wrong. And that's all. That's once you pull that rug out from underneath him, that's all he can say is, well, credibility, Your Honor. Listen to his tone of voice. He's not even convinced.
4-2. And since it was the defendant's motion, I'll let the defense make
Listen
any
to this
arguments
again.
you wish to make at this point.
He's
any.
just defeated. His
Based on
voice
the
is
testimony, it
defeated.
comes down to a credibility call for you to make on what he said here. And I've asked for questions. We'd like to have gone to the things on the other area, but I believe you've made a clear ruling on that, so there's no reason for me to argue further on that. I do believe that those things weren't bound by a 15-day and that we had good cause for why we did it somewhat later, but you've ruled. So thank you.
Plaintiffs?
The court essentially wrote our argument on January 2nd, 2024. Order, Your Honor, it's time to put this to bed. There was no ambiguity in the witness's testimony. He was straightforward and looked at the court. I would note for the record, at least I recall that the witness used reader glasses at times during the proceedings if he had something important to see here. And there's no reason to doubt this gentleman's honesty and integrity and the answers to his questions. So we ask that their motion be denied.
Court has before the defendant's motion for new trial based on juror misconduct, which is at docket identification number or DIN 3742. There were various supplements. Certainly the record is going to reflect the various different supplements, responses, interim orders, reconsideration, orders on reconsideration. At the end of the day, the defense has failed to demonstrate any juror misconduct. The court will therefore deny the motion for new trial based on alleged juror misconduct. That concludes the juror interview. I certainly still have a number of motions pending that we argued before the court on December 15th. Those remain pending, and I still need to address those. So my hope is that on or before Monday, January 22nd, that I will have answers to all of those outstanding motions one way or the other. You know, my hope is to do it before then, but I'm giving myself a little more than 2 weeks to go through those motions now that the juror issue has been taken off the table, and I can focus on those because I've been spending all my time on the juror misconduct allegations. So that is my plan on a going forward basis. Are there any questions, concerns, things we need to address in the interim?
So he just flat out, and I was actually thinking, just for appearance's sake, at least he might say, thank you for the arguments. Thank you for this. I'll take it under advisement and give you my decision in a few days. I thought he might do that, but he just straight out said, yeah, you know, the defense stuff ain't going to happen. I mean, to be fair, essentially what he told the defense was,
everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you.
He just flat out denied it. Just denied. We're not getting a new trial based on juror misconduct. So put that to rest. Don't ever talk about it again. We'll address the other issues, the other subjects of the motions at a later point in time. Anybody got a problem with that? Is what he's asking now.
Yeah, the only thing I comment is that I was going to check with the court reporter to see whether there was going to be a trial transcript anytime soon. And I did not do that this morning, but I will check on that tomorrow and provide the court with information.
I appreciate it.
Are we boring you, Shapiro? Look at Shapiro. He's just messing around on his phone. I don't know if it's just because that phone is behind the lectern and behind the screen and the judge can't see it. But I just know that in any courtroom I've been in Utah, and especially in Korea, if the judge saw him dicking around on his phone like that, the judge would utterly crush him. Shapiro has been noticeably quiet. It's like, you know, little man, you put us in this position. Let the old boys talk here. Let the adults talk and try to salvage this. He sat there very quietly looking at his stupid computer screen and playing with his phone the entire time.
Your Honor, there was pending a plaintiff's motion for sanctions, motion to strike it for sanctions dealing
Yes.
with the disclosure of the witness's home. Having spoken to new counsel, I'm deferring to them as to the argument on that. So I'll with that and nothing further.
Well, my recollection is where we left it is both sides wanted to see how the court was going to rule on these various motions for new trial before deciding whether you wanted to schedule hearing time to address the sanctioned motions or not.
Okay.
That was where I thought we had left it.
You're absolutely correct, Your Honor. This was a separate one recently filed, and if the court wants to put them in that category, that's depending on what Mr. Turf wants to do, but that's fine with us.
Well,
this one just seemed to be oriented towards this matter with this juror. And so
I want to invest my time in addressing the motions for new trial and JNOV and those motions, because one way or the other, I want to have an answer for the parties, whether we're doing a new trial or if we are or entering a judgment, whatever it turns out to be. I think you want the answer, and I want to give you that answer as soon as I possibly can.
we agree with the court's reasoning.
Anything else from any of the lawyers? Okay, we will be in recess. I appreciate everyone being here.
All right. That is the end of that. Now let's stack the doggos here. All right, there we go. Oof. Again, that went almost exactly as I predicted it would go. The judge is done with this. He wants to hear nothing further about this Juror 1 issue ever again. And hopefully with that will come everyone else that's involved in this, particularly Jules, who's just been an absolute champ through all of this. Jules has been a good sport, a good supporter, good viewer of all the LawTube and LawTube adjacent channels. We can kind of move on past this now and move on. And the judge said, okay, now that this is out of the way, we're going to talk about the other motions, the motions just set aside for judicial errors, the JNOV motion, which is just the judgment. They don't call it a JNOV anymore. But it's basically the judgment notwithstanding the verdict, regardless of what the jury came back with, that was incorrect in the eyes of the judge. I'm just going to give you a different result. We all know that's not going anywhere. But that, and then the damages issues, they're going to handle those issues first. He's going to settle those issues. Then they'll get to the sanctions issues. So yes, Yoda is the white dog and Strawberry is the brown one. So they're gonna handle the other motions first, then they'll look at the issue of sanctions. And Spatha says, legal vices, when was the last time a lawyer's been sanctioned? Lawyers get sanctioned. I mean, it's not uncommon. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but it's not unusual. I don't know how I would say this. It happens with regularity, but I mean, ordinarily it's a public reprimand, something that gets put in the bar journal, because every state has their own bar journal. Ask any lawyer, what's the first thing they do when they get their hands on a copy of a physical bar journal or on an electronic bar journal? The very first thing you do is you go to the disciplinary page to see who has been publicly disciplined and how they've been disciplined. But then there's also the other sanctions you don't hear about, which are like minor things, $500 for that, $700 for that, $1,000 for that, whatever the judge feels it is appropriate. So I mean, it's not a rare occurrence, I guess, should I say that? When it's deserved. It's rare overall, but when it's deserved, it's not a rare thing. Do I think they're going to be sanctioned? I think there are sufficient grounds, especially with regard to the very demonstrably false statements regarding Salisbury, continually revealing the whereabouts and location of juror number 1. I think it's particularly those two issues, and perhaps on the not producing the IJ report, I think there are sufficient grounds for some type of sanctions, and I would not be surprised if there was some sort of monetary thing involved. I mean, it's not going to be a huge, great amount that's going to cripple the defense team, but if a few dollars here and there, maybe a few $1,000s, if that. But we'll have to see. But I think there are sufficient grounds, and I would like to see it, and I would hope that we see at least some sort of sanctions against the defense for doing this. I mean, think of the millions of dollars that they're being. Yeah, exactly. Nancy McCarthy says, I don't think they're worried about sanctions. Think of the millions of dollars they're getting paid from J Hatch to lose this case. The millions of dollars they've made. Whatever financial thing the judge hands down, if he hands down anything, is going to essentially be insignificant. And even if it's a reprimand that goes on their permanent record, it goes on their disciplinary record, for old school lawyers like those two gray hairs, it's not going to really matter. They're going to, okay. So what? The old guy's got a couple of complaints. He kind of misstepped a couple. That's not going to affect them. It may not even affect someone like Shapiro. But if you're like a brand new lawyer, and anyone threatens sanctions against you, it scares the bejeebus out of you. So, Steve Gosney has just posted some examples of bar sanctions this week. Yours is weekly. We in Utah we only get it monthly. So yeah, like I said, it's in the overall scheme of every court appearance that ever happens anywhere. It's rare, but it's not uncommon. That probably makes no sense, but it makes sense to me in my head. So anyway, yeah, if you're a brand new lawyer and you get something from the bar ethics or the bar, like it's some sort of summons to bar disciplinary stuff, it probably scares the crap out of you, because you don't want to start out with these gigantic black marks on your career. But if you're like an old dude, you've been practicing for 40, 50 years, and you get one bad mark on you're like, whatevs. So, all right, well, that's it for now. We'll keep you posted as the orders come in, as possible hearings are held. We'll continue to follow this. We'll continue to monitor it. We'll update you as the case may be. Let's see. Do we have any? There's currently no super chats or monthly membership things to read, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's check in on our poll here. We've been going an hour and 13 minutes. It's about the halfway point. We're not doing too bad. Our light, we've currently got 739 people. So stick around, people. Although we're done with the Maya stuff for today, the next thing we're going to handle is we're going to watch the. Everybody's seen the flying defendant attack on the judge in LA. We're going to watch that quickly. But after that is something I haven't seen anybody cover yet. Maybe they have. I just haven't seen it yet. There was a press conference following that. We're going to watch the press conference too and see what the official line is on what happened. So we're going to do just a quick little midstream, floor sweeping and a little minor grift. And then we're going to go into the flying defendant and the press conference that followed, and then we'll wrap it all up with an unboxing. And I don't know how much time he has. We unboxed this yesterday. We unboxed from Steve Gosney. We got he sent me a copy of Brucey the One-Eyed Wonder Dog, an autographed copy with a nice little inscription in the front. Jeff, thank you for making Brucey happen, because we did the launch stream here on my channel. And I also was surprised to see that I was mentioned in the thank you section. Thank you to Jeff from Legal Vices. This was a gift from Steve Gosney that arrived a couple of days ago. So thank you very much for that, Steve. And we'll handle the rest of the unboxing after we finish with the flying juror. I lied. First, we have one more Maya thing, which we'll get to very quickly right after we do the like and subscribe poll. The like and subscribe poll is the thing we'll do every day, just to kind of remind you to hit the like button. Cough, cough, cough. We've got 700 people here now and 467 likes. Let's get up to 600 likes. We can do that here in the next minute while I'm doing this. Then we'll get right back into it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you are subscribed, just double check to make sure you're still subscribed and take our like and subscribe poll. Today is the story of the day. So far 33% of you have said the juror number 1 questioning is the story of the day. 26% of you said flying defendant. 11% of you said no war in South Korea. And go back to the beginning of the show where we discussed the fact there's no war actually going on in South Korea, despite what some news reports say. And 30% of you say the unboxing is the story of the day. Wow, that's very close to being number 1. The what's in the box. All right, we'll just leave that there. Hit the like button, subscribe, and take the poll just for giggles. The one thing we forgot to do, and by we, I mean me, was these motions. I mean, these additional affidavits filed by the prosecution. Dang it, why do I keep saying prosecution? I don't even mean prosecution. I mean the defense. These are affidavits filed by the defense. Comes now the defendant, Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, by and through its undersigned counsel, and hereby gives notice of the following affidavits in support of its motion for reconsideration. This is what we read the other day, where it's like, we have to expand the line of questioning, and we found additional grounds. We've got Howard Hunter, Shapiro, Hughes, Altenburn, and these are all of the defense lawyers, and their affidavits say basically, essentially, exactly the same thing. So I mean, we can use Howard Hunter, but we've been kind of hard on Shapiro, so we'll read Shapiro's affidavit, and they are essentially all virtually the same. My name is Ethan Shapiro, and I'm over the age of 18 and have personal knowledge of the matters set forth herein. I am a member of the Florida Bar in good standing since 2003. I represent Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in the above styled cause and have served in that capacity as trial counsel ever since the outset of the case. All right, that's all the Shapiro voice I'm going to do. I can't do more Shapiro voice. It actually kind of hurts. So Ethan Shapiro says, at no point have I asked directly or indirectly that any person initiate communication or attempt to initiate communication with any juror or alternate juror in the referenced matter, nor have I attempted to initiate any such communication myself or in any form. Regarding the letter that was purportedly sent to the jurors that was incorporated into defendant's motion for reconsideration of scope of juror interview, the screenshot of that letter was voluntarily sent to me by an alternate juror. I have not asked directly or indirectly any person take any action that I could not take myself, including any action that would violate Florida Rule of Professional Conduct 4-3.5D4. Now, we all know, well, I mean, probably a good chunk of us know, that he posted, it was as far as I can recall, like immediately after the case was over, something to Reddit, thanking all of the Redditors for doing their sleuth work and encouraging them to continue to find things along the lines they had already been finding, which was misconduct on the part of juror number 1. He said, I recall him encouraging them to do so, telling him to keep on going because they're checking it regularly. So yeah, I don't even think this is truthful. No, he actually, Mustang McCracken, he put a statement himself out there. And I mean, like I said, all of these affidavits say essentially the same thing. If we look at Hunter's, I haven't asked anybody to do anything I couldn't do. No point have I contacted a juror. Good Lord, I'm an old MFer, and he's been a member of the Florida Bar since I was 10 years old. Yikes, that's an old man. And here he was calling the other doctor old. Holy crap. They've got to be like virtually the same age. But anyway, I just thought you should know that those affidavits existed, and they're kind of hooey-ish. A little bit of hooey going on there. All right, now the flying defendant. Oh, we do have a super chat coming in from Unhung Hero. Thank you. It's been a dry run with super chats here, so thank you so much for breaking the dam and flowing forth with these super chats. Unhung Hero with the $2. What happens in Vegas stays on the internet. Okay. All right. Speaking of Vegas, let's segue right back into that. We've all seen it. The flying juror. We've got the flying juror who is going through it. He's going through something. He's being punished for doing a lot of things. He has a very, very lengthy criminal history. And the judge just doesn't think that being lenient is proper anymore. Let's roll with this. I know we've all seen it a million times, but as I said, there's a press conference after this that I want to watch. No, this wasn't a juror. He was not a juror. He's a. Did I say juror? Wait, did I say juror? Well, I'm an idiot if I said juror. The flying defendant. Oh, Unhung Hero says flying juror. You mean flying defendant? I guess I must have said flying juror. Huh. In my head, I was saying defendant. Huh. So yeah, nope. He was not a juror. Yes, I know, Special KL. I do have jurors on the brain. Wow. Yep, that was I literally in my head, I can still hear myself saying flying defendant. I did it a couple of times. Well, somebody needs to tase me if I do that crap again. All right. Yeah, so this is the flying defendant who has a long criminal history. Wow. The brain is a weird thing. In my head, I clearly hear myself saying flying defendant. Wow. All right. Anywho, enough of that. We got some ground to cover, so let's cover it with the flying defendant. This is our man in white here. Now he's out on bond. He's not handcuffed. He's not wearing colors. He's roaming.
This is time set for entry of judgment and position of sentence. Is there any legal cause or reason why judgment should not be pronounced against you at this time? By virtue of you pleading guilty. So
he's pleading guilty, and she's saying, "Is there any reason why we shouldn't bring the hammer down on you right now and render judgment?" He's like, "Nope." And this guy looks kind of like a chubby Kyle Rittenhouse or a Samwise Gamgee.
Guilty. I hereby judge you guilty of attempt battery with substantial bodily harm.
Oh, how convenient. He's being sentenced for battery with intent to cause bodily harm. Foreshadowing much?
Indicate the state retain the right to argue through the bench warrant. Is that correct? Yep. All right. State. Yep.
3 felony, 1 revoked probation. Many probation violations. It's hard to hear him because he's talking nowhere near a microphone, and we've got the clinking of the chain gang here in front of him. Battery. Yeah. He wants a prison term.
Is there any restitution or victim impact?
But I do think prison is appropriate. I asked the court to impose 19 to 48 on this case based on the criminal history and facts of this case.
Mr. Redden, is there anything you want to say on your own behalf before I pronounce sentence?
So basically, I would like to tell the court here, like, based on my criminal history, like, I feel that, like, I should be, like, sent to prison for a second time.
Have you looked at your criminal history?
Based on my criminal history, this lengthy criminal history we just went through, I don't think I should go to prison again. I mean, it makes no sense and is a stupid thing to say, but he's saying it very calmly. Hey, see it, Phoebe. He's saying it very calmly and nicely and politely.
Have you looked at your criminal history?
Actually, just, I look at it.
I mean, you lived it, I suppose.
Base judge, did you look at your criminal history? Oh, I guess you lived it, kind of, huh? Yeah, he lived his criminal history. And this judge has been the one who's sentenced, as I understand, who's sentenced him leniently in several prior criminal matters. So she's familiar with him, familiar with his sentencing, familiar with the gentleness with which he may have been treated previously, and now she's not having any of it.
3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs.
9 misdemeanors, domestic violence.
Got a lot going on, sir. Battery on a protected person, robberies.
Battery on a protected person. That's usually like elderly people, handicapped people, things like that.
Attempt home invasion.
Oh, home invasion. That's a good one.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just...
This judge is done AF. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to recall all of your vast litany of crimes. Oh. Now, a lot of these people here are probably not there to see him. They're probably other defendants or other, in other cases, or other witnesses in other cases. So they're probably not all there to see his sentencing, and some of them may be.
I have a support system. I just got hired.
Oh,
as a teamster for...
He got hired as a teamster. Surprised that the Teamsters would hire a thug. What are the odds? Just kidding, Teamster. Oh. Oh, it was the mental health problem that caused you to do all this. All right, and you realize that. Okay, there you go.
Like having a dictionary, like understanding myself, getting to know myself a little better, and applying it to my personality, and having a epiphany at that moment, in those instances, and just like trying to learn from my mistakes.
Well, clearly you didn't. I try to learn from my mistakes. As he stands there awaiting sentencing for battery with intent to commit grievous bodily harm, while he's waiting to be sentenced for that, he says he's learned from his past behavior. Minutes before he commits battery with the intent to cause grievous bodily harm. If he didn't actually cause grievous bodily harm, we still don't know that yet. So this guy's just acting the fool. That's all he's doing.
But if it's appropriate for you, then you have to do what you have to do. But I figure that if I'm in a better place in my life, I'm not doing drugs. I'm not out there committing crimes now.
Yes, you are. You're about to commit a crime. Like literally in a couple of minutes, you're going to commit another crime.
I feel like I should be given a shot because I'm in a better place than I was then, so they love trying to do the right thing. I know I'm not a rebellious person.
I'm sorry. You're not a rebellious person. All right. We'll keep that in mind. Fair enough.
I don't want to be standing there. I want you to have to, sit up there and waste your time as well. But the criteria of me saying this is that I'm a person that never stops trying to do the right things. It's hard. I did the best I could.
I can't tell if that's R. Kelly or MC Hammer on his shirt.
Thank you. Mr. Almasi?
Judge, as contained in the pre-sentence investigation report, my client was diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. And speaking with him, it certainly seems that he's following the pattern. This court has seen some of the time, so self-medication.
Oh, he's schizophrenic. He's bipolar. And somehow the defense lawyer is trying to make it sound good that he's dealing with this by, quote, self-medicating. That's somehow a mitigating factor.
2 goes at mental health court, Mr. Almasi.
He does have to discharge from probation. So he can do probation and be successful when supervised. It's true that he did get
I was going to make a comment, but I decided not to.
he is in a different position now. His foster mother, who was present as it shows supporting Mary Springer, has provided him.
His foster mother's Jerry Springer? What? If that is, that explains a lot.
He is in a different position now. His foster mother, who was present as it shows supporting Mary Springer,
Oh, Karen Springer.
has provided him a place to live, which is listed on the side.
What? He's like 94 years old. How does he have a foster mother?
Vegas. She very graciously has allowed him to stay there rent free with his own speed. Now, he is now part of Union 631 Teamsters and is hoping to work his way through that program.
Hired by the Teamsters in Las Vegas. That means something.
Prospects that are available to him through them. Finally, Judge, it's not just his mental health he's been contending with, but he also has a history of IED in his education. And at 30 years old, he does not have a high school degree.
Well, get a high school degree. Come on, take your GED, man. You're trying to do better. You're trying to do good. You're learning from your mistakes. Get a GED, man.
So we spoke about that as well, and I think it's high time we did that. I think the court can trust that he is going to perform well on probation. I think he's worth this risk. The court wants the 1948 as suggested by the DA. I would have no issue with that, but suspend it rather than just send him to prison for it makes more sense given the circumstances and his ability to do probation successfully that he did this opportunity.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because
Oh, he gets a taste of something else. Okay. Before we did, we've had a question here from Volpe and others like, what's a Teamster? Teamsters, they're like, along with the United Auto Workers, the Teamsters are a very, very large labor union. Teamsters are the largest union, actually. Yeah, I'm sure they still are. They like dock workers, cargo handlers, freight drivers, truck drivers, things like that. They're usually like the Teamster members, and they've kind of been more of the aggressive, shall we say, unions. Yeah. What's a nice way of saying it? Well, okay. Jimmy Hoffa, we've all heard of Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa was the president of the Teamsters Union when he vanished. And he was president for what? 10, 15 years? So yeah, Jimmy Hoffa was president of the Teamsters back then. So let's we can kind of do your research on the Teamsters. They're the militant radical labor union folks. So yeah, surprise, this guy's apparently been hired by them.
Just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court.
Everybody's commented on this leap. This is a leap. Dude caught some air here. And quick reaction time for the judge. Give the judge some quick reaction time for doing as much as she could for self-defense to try to get out of the way. But dude was quick. He caught everybody off guard. I feel that maybe kind of some of the people might not have been paying attention, but weirdly it's to be understood. This happens so infrequently, so rarely, that you can, as a court bailiff or a guard, you can kind of let your guard down a little bit. So that may have been the case. But yeah, he caught some good air on this. You got to give him a little bit of credit for that. But wait, what have I done now? Stop at me. Don't touch things. There we go.
In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court.
Again, that's a dive. AV called him a flying squirrel. Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, dang. Let's put that there in very, very slow. We don't want the quality. We want the speed, playback speed. We'll put that at 0.25 speed. And just watch the air this guy catches. We can mute it while he's flying. And watch dude is like, what? Dude sees him coming at him and he's like, what? He's like, holy, this isn't happening. Is this really? Okay, this is happening. Judge has this like, all right, it's on look on her face. Skippy over here still looks really confused. So she's well on her way to peace outing. He's just kind of freaking out over here. He in his young life has probably never seen anything remotely like this. This is the face of a young man who is literally just watching something on TV right now. This is not reality for him. And I mean that right here, you see dude catch his leg. He just caught his leg. If he hadn't have caught the leg, he would have gone straight into the judge. And it would have been a much higher leap than it was. Oh, daily quick bites. We'll get to that in just a minute. But yeah, the saving grace was this quick reaction time where whoever that was it the clerk? I think it was the court clerk that just caught his ankle as he was going over. So here comes the shocked looks again. He's coming. Guy's already in motion here. But watch down here when I think it's the court clerk that catches his ankle right at the end. So he's going up. Oh, damn it. What did I do that for? I'm an idiot. All right. There's like a giant bar here, and I keep not clicking it correctly. All right. Let's try it again without me boomering it. She's running out of the way. Guy's in motion. He's freaking out, getting down. Okay, this is the bailiff. I guess it's the bailiff that runs across and catches him. And right there is where he just catches this leg as it comes up. Right there. You can see he's kind of catching the leg, which prevents him from just going full on, like I said, flying squirrel at him. And bonus points for bewildered, stunned, I don't know what's going on, assistant or clerk guy. He goes to protect his boss. He goes to protect the judge. So as freaked out as he was initially, that was a quick recovery time for him to get his wits about him and go after the young dude. Exactly. Youngster jumps into action, though. Good on him. So that's a good thing. Again, he was stunned, and I think he was like, holy crap, but super mega bonus points for him to get his shit together and go in and start to protect his boss as best he can. And he's got a hold of her hair, and he's wailing on her. Sorry, little Skippy guy, there's not much you can do. All right, let's pause it there and bring it back up to speed. Now, I don't know why it went down the way it did. I mean, as far as protection stuff goes, but all I know is in Utah, this is an incredibly good way to get yourself shot. I don't know why that didn't happen in this case. I don't know the reasoning. Perhaps they didn't feel it was warranted or whatnot, but in Utah, people have gotten shot for doing this. So I don't know. I do not know why it took them this long to get it under. Yeah, but I mean, well, obviously, Miss Emily says restraint. I don't know why they exercise the restraint, though. He's attacking a judge, physically causing harm and damage and injury to this judge. I just don't know. But all things told, in Utah, you're likely to get shot for that. Clark County, Nevada, enough said. But see, I mean, you want to think it's Nevada. It's Old West, it's still desert out there. It's still the cowboy mine, but Clark County, I can't argue with that. But anywho, I do have a friend, a close friend who is in the district attorney's office in Clark County. I'm going to reach out to him and see if he can provide any insight into what went down, what the aftermath is beyond what we're going to hear in the press conference that I haven't seen yet. So I'll see if I can get any additional information out of him on what went down here. But while we've got it paused real quickly here, Unhung Hero says flying jury mean flying defendant. Yeah, we went through all of that. And Koala T, who's been a member for 1 month. Thank you so much for your continued support and membership. I got to go an adult. Hope you're on when I come back. TTYL. We're going to be on for not very much longer. It's probably another 30 minutes or less. But take care, Equality, if we don't see you back here. And Buddha Berries. FYI, Jeff is notorious BIG counting money on the dude's shirt. Okay. Well, he looks pretty small to be BIG. All right. Okay. Makes sense. I've seen the picture that you're talking about now. All right. Yeah. Just kind of looked like MC Hammer back in the Can't Touch This days. But anywho. Right. I know a guy. Just an old friend who works in the Clark County court system. Y'all remember Judge Mills Lane? The old judge used to do the boxing matches, and then he had the Judge Mills Lane in court, but he was also one of the most respected professional boxing referees of all time. That Mills Lane. One of my law school classmates clerked for him too. I mean, she doesn't anymore, but yeah, she clerked for Mills Lane back in the day, fresh in law school times. Yeah, so one of my law school classmates clerked for Mills Lane. But yeah, she doesn't do that anymore. But another one of my friends works in the Clark County in the prosecution. Did I say defense office defendants? Did I say district attorney's office before? I am so confused as to what I'm saying. If I didn't say it correctly, he works in the district attorney's office. He works for the prosecution. If I didn't say that correctly before, that's what it is. All right, here we go. We need to bring up the audio because the audio is kind of out of control. Okay, we clearly need to bring down the volume of the audio too. Sorry about that. That hurt my ears, so it must have crushed yours. Audio down. As far as I can see, he's still got the judge at this point. He's still got the judge by the hair. Okay, now he's got a hold of. Okay, at some point they got a hold of the defendant, pulled him off the judge, and now they start to go to town on him. Oh, he's still got. Now he's gone back to the judge again, I guess, and or one of the other court people. You can't tell who he's got a hold of at this point. I believe it's still the judge. But and the reason I think that is because clerk guy starts wailing on him again. I mean, not the greatest form, not the most power, but absolutely 100 out of 10 for bravery and loyalty. Okay, and then get off her. So I think it's still on the judge. And Torin 3 with the $2 super chat. What's in the box? You know what's in the box, and it's coming up in just a minute. We've got a gift from Torin 3 coming up in just a minute to be in the unboxing.
Don't do this. Hey, where's Mary Kay? Is she okay?
Is she okay? Not sure. That doesn't sound good.
Hey. Hey, can you fucking radio somebody? Yeah, give me that rock. Fucking radio somebody.
Now that's the court panic button there. That's what your average court panic button sounds like. And the defense lawyer is just standing here going, "All right, what do you want me to do now? You're making it worse." Kind of feel bad for the defense lawyer. I mean, what the hell do you do now if you're the defense lawyer? Steve Gosney's in chat. Gosney, what do you do at this point? What's your argument now? As a defense lawyer, he's just like, "Oh, you're making it worse. Stop making it worse."
Oh my gosh, dude.
Someone call. See, and that was the part that concerned me. Was someone call 911? That tells me that the judge may not be in really great condition.
Hey, where's Mary Kay? She's right here. She's right here.
And so the judge is under the desk. She's not moving. And this is the other thing that kind of concerns me. Notice court clerk, when he comes up, after he's attending to her, court clerk guy stands up and he's like, "That doesn't look good either."
Hey, where's Mary Kay? She's right here. She's right here.
She's like, "Yeah, no, it ain't good."
Stay down. Get on the ground.
And I'm assuming that's someone from the defendant's family doing the "please God, please God, please Jesus, please Jesus." You know, it's like, you know, he's continuing to advise his client as he's wailing on the judge. Yeah, get off her. Stop it. You're making it worse. Don't do this. Don't do it. You're not helping. Yeah, he either bounced her head off the flagpole, the wall, or both.
Is she talking?
Yeah, and see, someone is hurt here. From what I understand, from what I understand, it's the bailiff. He's like, "Oh shit, someone's hurt. He needs a doctor." I have no idea what he's saying.
Hey, my man. Yeah. Hey, you come here. I'll take care of him. That's my guy. Come around. That's it. Huh? That's it. You hold him. Okay. That's my guy. Come around. That's my guy right there.
Hey, Kelly, is medical coming? Is medical
You guys got medical? Where's Scott? Yeah, we need medical. Judge, you okay?
He's fucking ass out. I got him.
I know. See. Yeah? Hold him.
Okay, someone needs medical attention. We haven't seen the judge yet. The judge saying she's okay. What are you clapping about? Yeah, so she just said, yeah, he bounced my head into the wall there. The bailiff was injured. He had a cut on his forehead that required some medical attention, from what I'm reading here now. So yeah, the judge is kind of dazed. She's had her head bounced off the wall.
Okay.
No, she's okay.
Where's this fucking guy? Just get him over there.
She hit her head on the wall.
Can you help him? Grab the fucking guy and get him over there. I don't want to worry about fucking food.
Why did it take so long to hit the panic button? I think they were trying to pull him off the judge. I think that was where their priorities lay or lied. MJ, I've been trying to find a picture of it. I can't find a picture of it. I don't know where the picture of it is.
Yeah. Everybody stand up. Let's go. Move. Yeah. Is that yours?
Okay, I'm just about done here with this. Oh Lord. Okay, we're done. We're done with the noise. Nothing else happens, as you can see, between now and then. Yeah. Thanks, Flux, I guess, for sending that picture. Flux sent us, and by us I mean me. Flux sent me a picture of the head injury. I guess technically you would call that a cut. I doubt I can show that on YouTube. I honest to God, I don't think I can show that on YouTube. Okay, so all right. Wow. All right. This injury, this hurt on his head. Was he scalped? You're not entirely wrong, Daily Quick Bites. Okay, looking at this picture, it's a triangle pattern from, this is on the right side of his head. So from right about here, up this far and down to about here. So if you make a line from here, make a triangle down to here, is just like peeled down his skull. Yeah, so if you like take a triangle piece of flesh, I pull my glasses down there. If you take a triangle piece of flesh about this big and fold it down to here, that's what it looks like. Yeah. So just like it looks like he got hit with a chair or he hit the corner of something and it just scraped down his skull like that. A forehead Dorito? Really, the GM? You're not inaccurate, but really? All right, I'll put the link that Flux sent me here in the chat. All right, that's the link is there in chat now. If I mean, trigger warning, I guess, if that stuff makes you queasy, that's a hell of a injury. I mean, that is an injury. Wow. The court bailiff got triangle headed. Yeah, he got pizza sliced. You got Doritoed, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Flux says it was a picture. Lol. I doubt he's lolling about it, but holy crap. Yeah. So while that's going on, holy hell. Sonia Chris says, as a paramedic, any injuries to the face look way worse, but that looks bad. Yeah, this is a serious head injury. I mean, you can literally see the dude's skull in the picture. I would consider anywhere where you have a Dorito-sized chunk folded down on your forehead and you're looking at clean white skull bone, that's a serious injury. And weirdly, it's not bleeding that badly. Well, of course, I guess they're probably there in the hospital getting it treated where the blood is kind of clotted. But they cleaned up his face quite a bit because there's like not much. Anyway, enough of the descriptors, I guess. Thank you so much, Sonia Chris, for supporting the DCV Titan. I've seen other YouTubers refer to stuff like this as how many zeros you think this is going to add to his sentence? A lot. I hope he gets the maximum for it. Yeah, whatever the maximum sentence for this is, plus the maximum sentence for the actual thing he was being charged with. I mean, he was being sentenced for. I hope he gets the maximum sentence on this thing he's being sentenced for, and whatever the maximum for doing this is. And Sonia Chris, again, thank you so much. Effing bystanders in the crowd sit screaming and do something or get the hell out of the way. Again, I think they were probably his family or somebody, who are always the ones yell, please stop beating on my poor, sweet baby boy, that kind of stuff. That's an avulsion. Is that what we call it? We call it an avulsion, do we? All right. Suppose there is a technical term for Doritoed forehead. The good old triangle injuries. I wish I was drunk. Yeah, he got triangled. Wow. All right. Something tells me he's no longer employed by the Teamsters. Either that or he got a promotion. One of the two. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyone got a better link? What? You need a better link than that? Holy crap, you morbid person. Yes, aversion to avulsion. Yeah, right. All right. So anyway, as I was saying, there's a press conference that took place right after that. So I want to show the press conference now. It's not too long. It's about the same length as that. I got smacked by the metal hook of a bungee strap under high pressure and got one of those injuries too. Lamau, so much blood, looked like an axe murder got me. Oh, Lord. All right. No, the link isn't working? Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, the link is to a message, not well. All right. Let me copy, because that's the link I got here to the picture. Oh. Well, never mind then. Ha! Got it. Never mind. Yeah. Derp. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. Moving right along. I have no idea where the link is, so yeah. Rightos. Anywho, as I hang on here, just let me check here. Right. Great. Okay. I cannot find a freestanding version of this because I'm lame. How's the war there? No, go back to the beginning. There is no war here. There is no war here. Go back to the beginning of the stream. You can hear it. Let's watch this press conference here now and then get to the unboxing and wrap this up. I got to wake up earls in the morning and it's already 1 a.m. here. So here's the beginning of the press conference. Let's embiggen it.
Good afternoon, everybody. Microphones up here. Is everything working? Yes, sir. All right, so I'm going to give a little statement and then I can take a few questions. First of all, just to let everyone know about the incident at a sentencing hearing for Mr. Redden on January 4th. January 4th, it was January 3rd yesterday. Today's the 4th. Sentencing hearing on January 3rd on the charge of attempt battery with substantial bodily harm. Mr. Redden attacked Judge Mary Kay Holthus. Judge Holthus was injured and received medical attention and has been released. She remains sore and stiff, but thankful it was not more severe.
Okay.
Her marshal was transported to the hospital, treated for a head injury and released.
Yeah, it was a head injury.
Are still being treated. His name is Shane Brandon. The law clerk, Michael Lasso, received medical attention and was released. He received hand abrasions.
He received hand abrasion because he was punching the hell out of dude as best he could. Good for him. Those are some well-earned hand abrasions. Good on you. Good on you, clerk.
Heroic acts of Judge Holthus' staff, law enforcement, and all others who subdued the defendant. Judge Holthus wanted me to convey a statement. She wanted me to thank all of the well-wishers and others who have expressed concern for her and her staff. She is extremely grateful for those who took brave action during the attack. I just want to make sure that the public is aware that the courthouse is a safe place to be. This was a very unique situation, and we're doing what we can to continue to maintain the integrity of the court and the safety that we have here.
take a few questions if you have them. Yes.
How's everyone doing emotionally after this? Obviously very traumatic for everyone involved.
As far as the emotional resilience, we do have a wellness program here at the court that Judge Alf has been the head of for the past 18 months. We are already in the process. We have we've authorized crisis services for staff and for the judge if the need arises. We have a traumatologist that we've been in contact with, or has to be provided if they
Okay.
resign.
Judge, have you identified any changes to security measures for defendants who are out of custody and appearing in court?
So this is a very unique situation that, as far as I know, has never happened before with somebody supermaning over a judicial bench.
So supermaning, I like that's a good phrase. That's a good turn of phrase. Supermaning over a judicial bench. Nice. I like that.
Yesterday, we met with our security contractor to bring in additional security personnel to support courtroom coverage. We've notified Clark County management that there's a need for additional marshal positions in our high-risk calendars. We're already working with Clark County Real Property Management to evaluate courtrooms and identify if there are any necessary improvements. So we're already on top of doing everything we can to make this as safe as possible for everyone. Yes.
You said that you're looking at hiring more marshals. Is there a shortage of marshals right now?
There's always a shortage of marshals. We think that there could always be increased security presence that would be better for the courthouse. Generally, we have one marshal in a courtroom. Sometimes there are two, sometimes there are more, but generally there's one.
To what extent do the marshals across the various judicial districts coordinate and collaborate, techniques, support, training, etc.?
I don't know that I can answer that in detail, but I know that they do coordinate and collaborate with the other marshals. We have one marshal division, and they're all trained similarly. They have the same support network and same supervisory network. I know we transfer people between the family courthouse and our courthouse when the need arises. So
I like that pause and look like, oh God, it's not happening again, is it? You hear the noise and he just goes like, oh good, it's just someone making noise. He was a little bit jumpy there.
Family courthouse and our courthouse when the need arises. So
he's like, oh good.
There's coordination.
Nobody's coming at me.
So if there was an increase in marshals in the courtroom, do you think this could have been prevented?
I don't know what could have prevented this. I mean, I think that we are looking at every opportunity we can to make things better. I don't know if an additional marshal could have prevented it or not. But
yeah, see, I mean, what do people want? Do they just want like an entire row of armed guards standing between people in the court and the judge? I mean, what is proper security? What is the right amount of security? One marshal, it's a guy off the street who's out released on bond. Sure, he has a history, but he's out on bond. He's not shackled. He's not handcuffed. How many people do you need? Well, shock collars could have prevented, but he wasn't in custody at the time. He was out on bail. So I don't. Yeah, it was prevented. Yeah, that's how they talk out there in Nevada, out there in Utah. You know, I just say prevented because I've been a bit cultured out here, living away from Utah for as long as I have. But back home, you prevent things.
But if we could get additional marshals in the courtroom, we think that would always be better for the court, for the staff we have here, and for the public.
2 questions. How many more marshals are you looking to add?
I don't know that there's a definitive number for that. We would like to have a second marshal be available, at least for criminal calendars. That's part of the reason that we've met with our security contractor, so that we can try to put a second person in the courtrooms as often as we can.
Again, there goes the taxes.
When do you expect her to be back at work?
She was back at work today.
Good.
So do we know how tall this individual is?
I've seen the same video that you guys have. That's all I know. I don't have any description of it. Sorry.
In terms of those who did jump into action, it's really, heroic to see, especially the clerk. I mean, if you can speak a little bit on that, on those who did, jump into action to protect the judge.
Well, I think this Michael Lasso, her law clerk, was probably the primary person that pulled the defendant off of her and probably kept her from having more severe.
Again, he was a little freaked out when he saw the large man, as it was said here, supermaning over the judicial bench at him. He was a bit surprised and taken aback by this unusual occurrence. But again, 100 points out of 10 for the absolute quick recovery. And he did pull the big dude off of her. His punching game needs a little bit of work, but can't take a single thing away from dude for courage, bravery, and loyalty to his judge.
Injuries. So we commend him for that, his heroic actions.
Asking this because in the video that we've all seen, it's kind of hard to make out, but was the marshal standing close enough to the defendant, or was he following protocol as to where he was standing in the courtroom?
I believe that the marshal was right behind the defendant, probably getting ready to put handcuffs on him and remand him, and this individual just he moved too quick.
He took
I
exception
think
to
the marshal was
it.
right behind him, just couldn't get to him.
A lot of people have talked about his criminal history. Do you think that he should have already been behind bars and maybe not have gotten so many passes?
Irrelevant.
That's not really a question that I feel comfortable answering.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I was never one of the judges that was involved in the sentencing of a prior case. I don't have any comment on that.
So what exactly is he going to be charged with now?
The charges. Here's the new charges.
His new charges, he's going to be being charged with battery on a protected person resulting in substantial bodily harm, two other counts of battery on a protected person, and one count of simple battery. My understanding is because there are 4 individuals that were involved.
All right. There you go again.
I guess sentencing for those charges, and from our understanding, he was asking for probation, and that was being denied. Do we know what she was about to sentence him to before his attack?
Yeah. What was, if you couldn't hear it, he was about to be, he asked for probation, and she was about to render the verdict. I mean, render the sentencing. What was she going to sentence him to was the question.
So Judge Holthus is going to go forward with the sentencing hearing on, I believe it's the 8th at 9:30. Now, I don't know exactly what the sentence that she planned on handing down was, but I anticipate that it'll be the same as what she gives on the 8th.
So she will be handling that case.
Why does the judge get to be a protected person? I mean, it would include like law enforcement officers, officers of the court, because you're just really not supposed to beat up a judge. They're protected because they are. I guess that's the answer. I know it's not a great answer, but that's the answer I got for you. They're protected just because they are. Again, it could be because, well, there was a couple of protected person charges in there. So, yeah, I don't know if it's because of her age, but there was other people there that were also the protected persons. I don't know. Well,
She'll handle the sentencing.
I have to ask this. So the judge made a comment right before the strike about something to the fact that he's going to be receiving something different now. Is that appropriate? Is that appropriate for her to say?
I think every judge has their own discretion how they what they say to an individual in court. I think that what she was saying, I think they were asking for probation, and she was saying that something different was appropriate in this case. I think that's
now, see, here's the question. The question is, should the judge recuse herself from that case? Should she recuse herself from the sentencing and the new charges? I would guess from the defense position, you should argue that the judge should recuse herself, because she would have bias against him as a result of what happened to her. But on the other hand, the argument could just as easily be made, I guess, saying that the standard for recusal is undue bias. It could be argued that it would be due bias. It would be based and grounded bias brought about by himself, by the actions he performed in court. AV to the seventh power. What's up, girl? AV to the seventh power joining us. Good to see you. We'll be seeing more of her in a couple of weeks when she joins me on the stream here. So yeah, as AV to the seventh power said earlier, he went flying squirrel over there, and as our gentleman here said, Superman over the judicial podium. But recusal, I think you could make an argument both ways. Either she's been affected, she's going to be biased by this, but then again, I don't think it's undue bias. He brought this upon himself under the conditions of this. So arguments can be made both ways the way I see it.
That's what caused him to jump over the table. You mentioned the word "need." That was for me. Never seen it before. Have you seen anybody even close to like lunging forward, or even maybe another jurisdiction on YouTube? Well, I'm sure you guys have seen all the YouTube videos. There's plenty of instances where somebody is becomes rowdy in the courtroom, and the marshals generally are able to subdue them. This is the first one I've seen where somebody Superman over the judicial bench.
Can you give us an idea of what the courtroom will look like on the 8th with Brennan and Judge Holthus? The security measures that will be implemented?
I don't know yet. We're still in the process of figuring out what needs to be done to make the court as safe as possible. But that's our whole goal, is to maintain the public trust and confidence in the court system, and let people know that it is a safe place to be, and this is not going to happen again. We're taking whatever steps that we can to make sure that something like this doesn't happen in the future.
To your knowledge, this is the first time that this has happened in this courthouse and to this judge?
My knowledge, it's the first time it's happened anywhere. I've never seen a video of somebody diving across a court bench like that before. One more question.
So as a chief, what would be your message to some of the other judges?
My message to the other judges is that we're going to do everything we can to make this a safe place, not only for the judicial, for the judges, but for their staff and for the public. That's our goal, is to make the courthouse as safe as we can. Thank you very much for your time.
All right. Well, that is the end of that particular press conference. That sort of brings us up to speed. There was some medical treatment to the judge. The bailiff, who had his head Doritoed open, got some medical attention. Judge was back in court today, so she's fairly recovered, I guess. He's going to be charged with a bunch of new crimes, and still going to be sentenced for the old stuff. So not the smartest thing to do when you're just about to be sentenced for battery with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. You talk about how you're learning from your mistakes and you're doing better, and you immediately proceed to create more charges of battery with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. And in the case of the bailiff, he was grievously harmed with his skull pizza sliced open like that. Again, anytime you can see a giant chunk of flesh and some clean white bone in the skull underneath, that's an injury. That ain't something you're getting a light sentence for. The seventh power does. I forgot to pause it and mention that. Because like part of me went, what? Did he just say that? And then by then it was really too late to pause it. He legit said he was getting to know himself using a dictionary. He's, I don't know how many of you caught that, but he did say that, which is like, I was like, what? Because they were talking about his mental illness immediately before that. And I thought, did he saying he was like looking up these mental illnesses in the dictionary? No, he said he was getting to know himself. Did he really say that? And then by then we'd moved on. And so I forgot to pause it to think out loud. But that's it. All right. No, you did not miss the unboxing. We're doing that right now. So that's the end of really all of the anything meaningful we had to talk about. See, I was going to finish this like early tonight, and I've gone 20 minutes longer than I normally do because I got to go pick up my friend from the airport. Here's, again, for those of you that are going to leave, let me tell you what's coming up real quickly here. There's a few things that we need to tell you about. You need to put on your calendars because you're not going to want to miss any of it. First, tomorrow morning, my time, which is 9 hours from now, I'm going to be picking up a dear friend of mine who is a whiskey enthusiast, a bourbon expert. She's popping into town here, going to hang out for 2-3 days. She's written for whiskey magazines and online publications and things like that. She has Abby Abroad is her YouTube channel. It's being redone, but she's out there. She's a wonderful woman. We're going to be doing a whiskey stream together. I know many people have asked for the whiskey stream. And that's what we're going to do. I'm using her while she's here to assist me with that because it's more fun when I have someone to banter with and play off of. So she'll be here joining me, and we're going to be talking about what is whiskey, how do you make it, what kinds are there, how do you drink it, how do you get an appreciation for it rather than just I taste burning alcohol, I taste burning tires in my mouth. How do you get past that? Those are things. It's going to be a fun, just a quick, just fun chill stream talking about whiskey. And if you want to play at home, one of the things the main whiskey we're going to be talking about and using as our examples will be Elijah Craig Small Batch. So if you have a bottle of Elijah Craig Small Batch, you can play along at home. If you have any other whiskey, you can still play along at home. It'll just be less fun. But also, Raven said I'd like a vodka stream better. We might be talking some vodka. We'll probably definitely be talking some gin because she's a huge gin aficionado as well. So that's going to be happening Saturday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is like midnight Sunday morning UK and 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So that's happening on Saturday. Do not miss that. That'll be fun. And I probably will not be streaming on Monday because she'll still be here. It's the last night she's here. And then I got to wake up super early to take her to the train station to get her back to the airport. And something you do not want to miss, people, put it on your calendar. 19th, Friday, the 19th of January is the first Effort Friday of 2024. It'll be Friday evening U.S. time, starting again at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And this is a little bit different. We're doing something a little bit different this time. For our panel, it's a ladies' night. It's a ladies only boozy griftathon Effort Friday where we say Effort. We just do whatever we want. You bring all of your money. You throw it at me in one giant griftathon. Every $100 I do a shot of some fantastic whiskey. We see how liquored up I can get. And it's all up to you as you throw all of your money at me. It's a fun, just tongue-in-cheek griftathon. We know what's going in. It's all fun and games. We get all the grifting out in one fell swoop, and we have an amazing panel of only ladies. That's why I'm calling it Legal Vice's Lady Bits. And the panel so far, and the panel continues to grow. Panel members so far, House of Flux, our very own Flux is going to be there. Lauren De Laguna, Steph the Altar Nerd, Chandler Remington, our very own Chandler will be there. Ari Jacob will be there. Christina Radix Verum, Talk with Sally, Waifu Kron Jess, our very own AV to the 7th Power is going to be there. We're happy to have her. Always wonderful when she graces us with her presence. Lady Law 5791, Jasmine Jafar, a very popular, very successful OnlyFans model, and more will be there. The list continues to grow, so do not miss that. It's going to be Legal Vices, Lady Bits, Ladies Night Only, Boozy Griftathon F at Friday. Come for that. It'll be awesome. That was a weird phrasing. Sorry. You know what I mean. Join us for that stream because it will be awesome and amazing. All right. With that out of the way, let me move the desk and get to the unboxing here. Okay, I don't want to get in the way of the dogs. Let's see. We've got to clear some space here on the oldie desk to see what goodies people have given. All right, we already did the Steve Gosney's Brucey, the One-Eyed Wonder Dog. And again, thank you so much for that, Steve. Opening up Giganto box here. We've got a lot of the forwarder. They like pack the boxes in with other paper. So we got a lot of paper here. Oh, it seems we have 4 things in here. All right, we got 4 things. Let's take 4 things out, and we'll put the. Oh, what is that? Now, dang it. Let's see. No! Ooh, I almost knocked my favorite whiskey glass off the desk. That would have sucked. All right. Now, what I need to do here is figure out who these are from. I know who one is from. All right, I'm looking here at the boxes because I'm looking for identifying marks. I should have people like put your names on them in case they get lost and what not. Let me see here. Pull up the shipping list here. Shipping list. Okay. Oh, all right. This first one is from Swan Lake Lady. She has her actual real name on here, so I had to make sure who that was. I should have just looked at the address. That would have given it away. Swan Lake Lady has sent this box. What on earth could this box be? Let's open it up, shall we? Okay. It's some kind of map. I love maps, by the way. That's kind of interesting you knew that. I love maps. I think maps are way cool, but I have no clue what this is a map of. It smells like food. Oh, wow. Oh, holy crap. This is way cool. This is, unfold this. I don't know if you can see how close you can see this. This is a map of shipwrecks and lighthouses of the Oregon coast. Oh, there's the Emily Reed. We've talked about the Emily Reed before. Oh, this could be a Maritime Monday task. We can go through here and see how many of these we can do Maritime Mondays on. Huh. Wow, that is way cool. Thank you so much. Oh, that's cool. This is cool as hell. The Fearless? I think we talked about the Fearless, I believe. If not, I've meant to. Oh, wow, Swan Lake Lady. Thank you so much. That is way cool. We're gonna be looking at that. The shipwrecks and lighthouses of the Oregon coast. Way cool. Oh man, that is awesome. And we have another box. This one has the shipping label has come off of this one, so I'm not sure who this is from. I'm gonna guess it's from Swan Lake Lady because it sort of seems to have the same thing. Swan Lake Lady, did you send me something else in a small rectangle box? If you did, please let me know if you sent something else that would be this, which I haven't opened it yet, but I know what it is because I can smell it. Swan Lake Lady, is this you? That's all I need to know. Yes. Okay, good. It is from Swan Lake Lady, and it is a candle. I could smell it through the plastic. Oh, warm tobacco pipe scented candle. Oh, wait. There we go. Warm tobacco pipe scented candle from hand poured from Home Candles. DW Home. That smells good. Oh. Raven, yeah, I know where Swan Lake Lady lives. She lives just over the hill from me, where I grew up. We're besties. We actually know in IRL some of the same people, because her high school was one of my rival high schools, and also the wrapped one. You say, all right, this is the wrapped present. I'm just opening it now. What have I done? What have I done to deserve 3 presents from you? Oh my God, it's a Dragon's Treasure tea. And oh my God, Swan Lake Lady, you have no idea how awesome this is. This is the candy apple. Sorry, this is the candy apple Dragon's Treasure tea. You have no idea how awesome this is. If you go watch Aussie Overlord's stream that I was doing in the 2 hours before I came here, I was just lamenting the fact that I finished the last of my candy apple tea this evening, and I was lamenting the fact that I didn't have a replacement for it. So you literally sent me, and I got and just unboxed today one of my favorite teas that I just finished this evening. That is absolutely awesome. This candy apple tea is amazing. It just smells like apples, like cinnamon and apples. Oh, it's so good. It has black tea, apple pieces, natural candy apple flavor, and cinnamon. Oh, it's so warm and good. And if you want some Dragon's Treasure tea, go to thedragonstreasure.com, thedragonstreasure.com. Every month, he's got a brand new website too. Go check it out, The Dragon's Treasure. And he's got at least 60 teas, new teas every month with the same teas on rotation. You can get them in bags. You can get them loose leaf. He's also got several new coffees. He does some coffees. He got all the tea sets and teapots and things you could possibly want. And if you go there and you use code VICES, you get 10% off. So that's a win-win-win. He gets a sale, you get 10% off, and I get a 5% kickback that I can put towards more tea. So go to thedragonstreasure.com, use code VICES, and get some amazing tea. And if you like cinnamon, if you like warm, rich flavors, if you like apples, this is the tea to get, candy apple. And he's got the instructions for how to brew it if you need that. 1 teaspoon per 8 ounce, boil and steep for 3 minutes, things like that. He says this on all of his teas, how to prepare them. Now, thank you so much for those, Swan Lake Lady. That is really cool. I'm going to frame this and probably put it on the wall here that nobody can see. There's a blank wall over here that needs to have stuff on it. So thank you so much for that. Now this is the final present comes from Torin 3. There's absolutely no markings at all on it, but I know he did it. I know he made this. Torin 3, if you don't know, practices the art of Japanese braiding, a traditional Japanese braiding. And Torin 3 is the channel. And go there and watch him. It's incredibly therapeutic. I listen to him while I'm at work. Sometimes sometimes I talk in chat. Most of the time I just lurk in the background and let it play because his voice is very, very soothing, and it soothes my ADHD. But it's amazingly super fine silk that's woven together for these patterns, and this. We'll unravel this and show you here in a minute. But first, I want to show you these threads. If you look at these threads here, let's do this. It's incredibly fine threads This, he told me about it, this particular braid is made from 1,200 individual threads. It's like 1,200 individual silk threads that he braided to create this very long thing. And you can, this is the back side. Here's the front side. It has the like a compassy sort of mark. It has Cthulhu. This is his mark. This is Torin 3's mark. Like all the Japanese and Korean and Chinese things, all of the artwork will have like the master's, the creator's signature, whether it's like a red stamp or red seal or thing. This, I believe, is Torin 3's personal mark. And I would not be surprised if he actually has it officially registered. Yes, he says it's my maker's mark. And do you have it officially registered somewhere in Japan? Because if not, you should. But it has Cthulhu. It has Godzilla breathing fire. Oh, Torin, get on that. It has a cigar with some smoke coming off of it. And it has a whiskey glass and a ship's wheel. Torin put a lot of thought and a hell of a lot of effort into this. And this pattern repeats. The ship's wheel, the whiskey glass, the cigar, Godzilla, and Cthulhu. And again, this braid, I don't know how close my camera will get, but you can see how many layers of braiding there is. And again, that's 1,200 individual silk threads. I mean, it's amazing, and it's thick. It's what, about two inches thick, and it's got the reverse side as well, and it's long. I mean, it's about five feet long. I want to say 4.5, 5 feet long. I mean, this is incredible. I'm gonna hang it right back there. So it's kind of, from now on, you should see it hanging down probably in this space right here. 54 inches. So 48, so it's 4 feet 2. Okay. 6 inches short of 4 feet 2. Okay, I guess it's 4'10". However the hell long it is, lawyers can't do math. So yeah, it's about 5 feet. This is gorgeous. Thank you so much. And if I recall, it took you like even to set up the threads for this took him over 10 hours just to set the threads. So yeah, there you go. This had to have taken you like what, 100 hours to make. I mean, it's insanely beautiful. Thank you so much. That's gorgeous. And Swan Lake Lady, that's an amazingly cool poster. And serendipitously, the exact my favorite tee that just happened to be finished today. And you can, as any dog owner knows, you can never have too many candles in your home. So there you go. That's today's unboxing, and in a week or two, we'll have some stuff coming from the UK post office box that we'll do an unboxing for. Wow, Torin 3, Swan Lake Lady, thank you both so much for your generosity. It's deeply appreciated. I don't deserve it, but I'm grateful for it. You guys are awesome, and thank you so much, Steve, for sending me the copy of Brucey, the one-eyed wonder dog. I had to check to make sure Wonder was in it because my old pug, I used to call him Barkley the Wonder Pug. So yeah, it's Brucey the one-eyed wonder dog. Thank you so much for that, Steve. Thank you, Swan Lake Lady. Thank you, Torin 3. You guys are awesome. All right, with that, we are done. I've got to get myself to sleep. Do not miss the whiskey stream Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, where my dear friend Abby Abroad is coming. I'm picking her up from the train station in just over 8 hours. She'll be hanging out for a couple days. We're going to sit down. As I mentioned just a few minutes ago, she is also a whiskey enthusiast. She's a published bourbon author. She writes for magazines. She's a bourbon expert. We're going to be talking about what whiskey is, the different kinds, how it's made, how to drink it, etc. And we will be working on a bottle of Elijah Craig small batch while we do it. So if you have one of those and want to play along at home, do that. If not, any other whiskey would be great. Or if you just want to sit and watch us do our thing, that'll be awesome. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Thank you for all of this. We'll see you on Saturday. And don't forget to put F at Friday on your calendar for the 19th of January. We'll keep you posted. Again, we're going to go out the same way we came in. There is no war in Korea, in South Korea right now, regardless of what you may hear online. I'm perfectly safe. There's no worries. Business as usual. We'll see you all Saturday night, Eastern Time, U.S. Until then, take care of yourselves. I love you, mods. I love everything you've done. Chat, you are the greatest chat in the history of the internet. Hands down, no questions asked. Bless you all. The 533 of you that are still here. Thank you all for sticking to the end. Thank you for the support, the gifts, the super chats, the memberships, everything. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Enjoy your legal vices. Law Rect, say in peace. Out. Wait. Sorry. Wait. I cannot do that. Super chats. Super chats. Sorry, people. Holy shit. I just about forgot the super chats. Damn. Sonia or Chris. Whew. There's 4 things I almost forgot. Holy crap. I hope you're all still here. Sonia or Chris, avulsions are severe traumatic injuries where 1 or more pieces of tissue are torn and detached from the body, including at least all 3 layers of skin. Yup, that describes that injury. That describes it perfectly. Thank you. And the DCV Titan. There is no war in Ba Sing Se, Korea. Nice. Okay. And Rogue Mama, thank you so much for being a member for 1 month. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. They may want to replace the stone wall behind the judge with pads. Ow. Worked in the courts. That JA clerk is a badass because there is no training for this. Concur. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And AV to the 7th power. Thanks for sharing the press conference. You are welcome. And thank you so much for your super chat. And thank you so much for popping in. And if we don't see you before the 19th, we'll definitely see you there. Again, I apologize. I almost missed those super chats. And I hope the people that gave them were still here to hear me read them and don't think I'm a dick for not reading them. I was almost a dick, but I saved myself at the very end. All right. Now, for reals. Peace out. Don't hate me. I'm a good guy. Bye now. For reals.